Chapter 9. When the Final Resurgence ignited.
The synchronization sequence was live. The Western Vanguard prepared to anchor the grid across history.
They didn't strike with traditional mass. They warped the bedrock of chronology, preparing a power surge designed to freeze the physical momentum of the entire invasion.
But the Empire of Combustion refused to be locked away. Out of the bedrock charged iron remnants.
Barrier breached. A catastrophic chemical strike fracturing the invulnerable time matrix in a single blinding second of industrial fury.
The localized grid is fracturing. The toxic chemical fallout has destabilized our primary containment loops. We are losing temporal synchronization.
Total collision on the cobblestones. Advanced quantum rifles can low of dust, fighting to hold the line against the Iron Hunters. Chemistry does not negotiate. The Overlord's machines dissolved their advanced alloys like ice under a high-voltage solar flare.
Kinetic impact. The sky answered with the wrath of a split atom, crushing the industrial stronghold into a flat mirror of glass.
My fortress is broken. The orbital grid is active. Release the final subterranean reserves. If they want this planet, then we will poison the ice.
The core is poisoned. A toxic alternative history legacy raised to choke the new world before the Matrix can ever expand.
The victory was an illusion.
They built their empire on displacement and pollution, carving up a new world.
When the sun broke through the fallout, nothing remained but a total cosmic stalemate. A cold peak.
The Chronos Anomaly has opened. Which dimension will claim absolute mastery over reality?
The ancient structures became tactical strongholds, fortified to prevent the distortion fields from cascading across the planetary network. Subsectors were locked into static time loops, isolating the core mechanisms from the weaponized fallout expanding outside. To maintain the chronological barrier, the Alliance sacrificed the entire output of their orbital reactors, feeding the Matrix everything they had left.
Silo breach in Grid 9. The Eastern Vanguard has deployed heavy combustion munitions to sever our secondary power lines.
Hold the line stable. If the main current collapses before the Matrix locks, the entire timeline will reset to zero.
When dawn broke across the red frontier, the lines of science remained unbroken, holding the space vacuum at bay.
The siege sequence was absolute, coordinated across multiple automated divisions to strike the core grid simultaneously.
Move through the blind zones. The quantum sensors cannot track our armor through the heavy sand fallout.
Load the secondary combustion payload. Target the primary dome support arches.
The mechanical squadrons deployed. Iron monsters fueled by chemical fury charging directly into the western perimeter.
Total impact. The defense forces answered with absolute force, detonating the Iron Vanguard in a single second.
The weapon is obsolete. The chemical dust is dissolving the internal quantum fuel rods. Fall back to the trench. The outer lines collapsed. The Iron Hunters reclaimed the canyon floor, forcing a total blackout across the sector.
Signal is blinded. The chemical cloud has blocked our connection to the mainframe ship. We are entirely isolated.
Quantum discharge. The West answered with absolute fire, vaporizing the landing Vanguard in a single blinding instant.
They think their orbital grid makes them kings of space. But the Earth still belongs to the elements. Release the secondary reserves.
If they want total war, then we will poison the sky until their new sun goes dark forever.
The sky was poisoned. The chemical armada launched its final deterrent, preparing to choke the quantum eyes of the West. When the sun broke through the fallout, nothing remained but a landscape of displacement glass and chemical ash. The quantum frontier concludes, and the final resurgence begins. Choose your side in the comments below.
The interception was live. The Eastern remnants deployed their fastest tactical aircraft to breach the Western airspace grid.
Flood the secondary combustion pipes. Push the speed past the absolute line of structural tolerance.
Barrier breached. The chemical Vanguard pierced the invulnerable Western shield with raw, mechanical force. A catastrophic strike. The Western surveillance node was erased in a single blinding instant of toxic combustion.
When the smoke cleared, the frontier was compromised. The lines of current had snapped, leaving the Western capital exposed to the incoming shadow. Orbital telemetry stabilized. The Space Vanguard secured the planetary perimeter, prepared to deploy the next matrix node. A multi-dimensional core framework operating independent of external mass, creating an invulnerable energy shield across the installation.
Subterranean contact. The enemy has bypassed our geological scanners, breaching the perimeter defense lines from below. Engage the primary kinetic anchors. Drive the Vanguard directly into their central communications grid.
Production lines were overcharged, mass-producing the specialized combustion munitions required to neutralize the Western code fields.
The refinery tower is compromised. Toxic fluid has breached the clean water line. Containment is failing.
The outer perimeters have collapsed. Force the secondary quartz breakers to maximum capacity. Freeze the sector now.
The drillers breached the inner sanctuary. Total structural damage across the entire primary matrix sector.
Chronos Anomaly suppressed. Time wave stabilization complete. Realities aligned across the sector matrix. When the sun broke through the anomalies, the first stronghold of the Final Resurgence stood secure.